Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're good. So today I thought we could continue our lessons of the alphabet that we started. We did already 3 lessons. So there's part 1, part 2, and part 3. Today is going to be for part 4 in our lesson. So if you haven't done the first 3 lessons of the alphabet and you don't know how to read and write, this is not the right lesson for you. So remember, stop, go back. I'm going to leave the link of the lessons in the description box, and it says clearly part 1, part 2, and part 3. Once you finish these 3 parts, then you can do part 4 with us. Why? Because there are some letters I'm going to use today that we've already done. So if you don't know them, it's going to be hard for you to follow. Okay? So those of you who are already started doing the first 3 lessons, yalla, this is for you. So this is part 4 of our series of the alphabet. So today we will do 2 letters. We will do the letters Daal and the letter Daal. Okay. So this is the name of the letter. That's the letter Daal, and it's the equivalent to the letter D in English, Daal. And this is the letter Daal, th. I can think of the words this, that, those in English, and that's how we pronounce it, the. It's not a d or a z, it's a the. But if I want to specifically mention how we say it in Lebanese Arabic, we tend to a lot of times, instead of pronouncing it as a the sound, we pronounce it a lot of times as a d sound. We even sometimes write it as a d sound, which is the letter dal. And sometimes we pronounce it as a z, as in zebra. I'm going to give you examples later on. For now, keep in your mind that we are doing 2 letters. The name of the first letter is dal, and the sound of it is d. The name of the second letter is val, and the sound of it is v, as in this, that, those. Yalla, let's begin. I'm going to quickly recap, and I'm going to draw a circle around the letters that we already know, that we already did. We already did the letter alif. The name of the letter is alif. We did the letter ba or be. We can pronounce it be in Lebanese. That's the name of the letter. So it's the equivalent to the letter B. We did the letter ta, which is the T. We did the letter tha. You can remember the word thunder to remember this. So we did alif, ba, ta, tha. We also did noon, which is the equivalent to the letter N, noon. We did the letter wow, so that's the name of the letter wow, and it sounds like oo or w. I gave the example of window and boots, window, and oo, boots. And we did the letter ya, that's the name of the letter, and the sound is 2 things, yellow, y, and cloudy, e. So it's the equivalent of the letter y in English. So far we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters that we already know. Today, as I said, we will do the dal and the dhal. Let me show you where they are. This is the letter dal, and this is the letter dhal. You notice the only distinction between the two is this dot. Yalla, let's start to write it. I'm going to scroll down. Guys, it's very, very, very important. If you sit down and listen, you might learn 10%. I don't even know how much you can learn. But if you sit down and write with me, that's the only way you're gonna, like, okay, you notice, if you've watched part 1, 2, and 3 of my lessons, you notice this is not one of these alphabet lessons that, I just give you like a little hint of how to write the letter or something. No, no, no. Really, if you follow them fully, I promise you, towards the end of the lessons, you will be able to read and write on your own, fully, okay? But the condition should be that you should sit and write with me. Yalla, let's write together. I'm gonna try to write with nice handwriting because I've never had the best handwriting in the world. Also, my digital pen doesn't help, but I'll try my best. So I'm gonna exaggerate and write the letter with big size, and then we can reduce the size a bit. Yalla. So we will always need the letter we know that by now that in Arabic we need 4 shapes of the letter. When it's alone, when it's at the beginning of the word, when it's in the middle of the word, and when it's at the end of the word. And of course, we will try to join them. Okay? So today we will do the letter Daal, which is, I like to call it a star letter. Okay? We already did 2 star letters. We did the Alif. You will only understand what I mean if you've watched the lessons. And we did the Waw. Today the Daal is another star letter. Star letters are the ones that don't join on the left. They only join on the right. So let's start to draw the letter when it's alone. It's a tilted line that curves a little bit here. You can curve it here. And it flattens itself on the horizontal line here. Okay? So this one here, you notice, okay, first of all, the line is tilted. It's not like this. Okay? It's like this. Second, these 2 lines are almost the same size. So it's not like this and then the other one is like this, or the opposite, like this and like this. No, these are the mistakes that I see usually my students do. No, remember, the lines should be, the first one should be tilted, like that. So it's like Pac-Man, you see? Like that. Again. Tilted, straight. Tilted, straight. Okay? This is when the letter is alone. You can also add something to it. You can add a little tiny tooth at the end of the letter, or like a curl. What do I mean by that? You can do line, line, and then really a small closure here, like a very small closure. Okay? Some people do this, which is not correct. Okay? And some people end up doing this, which is also not correct. Some people do this, which is not correct. Let's repeat a few times so that your hand gets used to it. So again, it should be, it's a very sharp line, but then curves here. And you can curl it a little bit here. Again. Okay, again. You see, my hand is shaking a bit because I'm not writing on a paper, but ideally it shouldn't. So this is nice. You can draw like this. Okay, again. So this is how the letter should look on its own. So that's the letter Daal. Simply, if you want to change it into the letter Daal, all you need to do is add your dots. Dot, 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 dot. Okay? That's when it's alone. So I'm gonna erase all of this. I'm gonna redraw just one under the word alone for you to see it and to remember to add it to your list. So that's the Daal. Now, this is when it's alone. At the beginning of the word, it's exactly the same. It doesn't change at all, not even 1%. It stays exactly the same. Why? Because this is a star letter. I'm just going to draw a star here for you to remember. A star letter doesn't join on the left. It means it does not need a tail. So I'm not going to draw a tail to it to link it to another word. No, I don't need the tail because it doesn't join. So the shape of it is exactly the same as its shape when it's on its own. Now, the middle form is exactly the same, but it needs the tail on the right. But am I going to draw it like this? Can I draw this and then add the tail? If you look at it like that, you will think, oh, this is correct, it's great. But it looks correct, but it's not. Why? Because, of course, in Arabic, our hand is always coming from right to left, which means I need to draw my tail first and then draw my letter. So here's the tail. This is the tail. I go up, trace it back down, and this is my middle form of the Daal. Okay, here's the tail. So this is a star letter, but you see it does have a tail on the right. We do need a tail on the right because it will join to the letter before, but it will not join to the letter after. That's all. That's why you have a tail here, but you don't have a tail on the left. Okay, so that's the middle form of the Daal. I'm going to draw a few ones on the line below. Yalla, draw with me, guys. Tail, Daal. Again, start with the tail, go up, come back down, you can trace it, and then curl it a little bit here. Let me try to make my handwriting a little bit better. Yalla. So it's a tail, goes up, comes back down. Okay? Yalla. One more. Do with me. Tail, up, down. Again. Tail, goes up, comes back down. Okay. So I'm not doing this, guys. I have some students who do this. The tail shouldn't be that long. No, just a tiny tail so that the letter attaches itself to the letter before. Okay? I'm just gonna erase these. So we now have here alone, beginning, middle. The end form is exactly 100% the same. It won't change. Again, it will have a tail, goes up, you come back down. That's it. Okay? Again, don't remove your hands. So you're doing this and this. Okay, now in terms of shape, let's pretend these two lines are my notebook, okay? And I'm gonna draw the letter Daal. I'm never gonna do this. I see students write so big that they touch the line above. No, it shouldn't be like that. It really depends on the line of the size of your lines, but usually it should be like halfway through your line if it's like a normal notebook. Sometimes if the lines are big, maybe less than halfway through the line, okay? But like this one is not nice, you see? Because it's a bit straight. You will think it's another letter later on when we learn the letter lam. So we have to be careful. We have to draw it a bit tilted and like that with a tiny curve. Okay? Yeah, let's repeat all of them. I'm gonna erase all of them and let's draw them one more time. So when it's alone, it's tilted with a tiny curl. When it's at the beginning of the word, it's exactly the same. When it's in the middle of the word, we need the tail. When it's at the end of the word, we also need the tail. Again, remember, this is a star letter. It doesn't join on the left, which means when I try to come join three Daals together, for example, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to draw the first initial form, and then I will draw the middle form, and then another final form. Is that correct? Of course not. Why? Because if you're not going to join the first letter to the second one, why would you need a tail? It's a bit pointless, so you have to delete the tail. The same here. This doesn't join to the letter after. So why would you need the tail? You won't need it. You just delete the tail. Then what happens? It means you just really literally have three Daals next to each other. That's it. That's how you join them. They don't really join. Okay? So you can think of the star letter as well as like an eraser. It erases the tail of the letter that comes after it. Okay? يعني if I do this, look, this is the first one. Because it's a star letter, I'm gonna erase the tail. So it's going to be like this. Just erase the tail, just erase the tail, and that's it. This is how they join. So these are the Daals. Again, if I want to change it into the letter Daal, I need to add my dots. So let's add the dot alone, beginning, middle, end, and joined. That's how you join them. Okay? Let me check if anyone has a question and then I can continue. Let me see. No one has a question. Yeah, let me go on. So now let's try to put them into words. Okay? We already did some letters before. We're going to combine them. And again, as I said, if you didn't do the lessons before, you have to do them, okay? So you can understand the words here. So for now, really, we don't care 100% about pronunciation. Why? Because I still didn't teach you the harakat, the fatha, damma, kasra, the punctuations that give the a, u, e, short vowel sounds. So I'm going to help you with the pronunciation today. I'm going to write you how we pronounce them. But your job is now to know how to write the words, okay? So I'm gonna draw here three letters and I will ask you to join them. So we have The first letter is the Daal, plus, now forget about this alone joint. That's it. Now we're drawing words, okay? So I wrote the Daal, and now I'm gonna write the Waw plus another Daal. So I have Daal, Waw, Daal. So it's D, U, D. Together you will pronounce it Dood. Dood. I'm gonna write it here. Dood. And dood in Arabic means worms. Like not worm as in it's hot, not the worm, like the little insect worm, okay? Worms, dood. Now, how are we gonna join it? Before, like, okay, let me give you some tips. Before you write anything in Arabic, firstly, you have to be analytical, okay? I have students who want to immediately write the words. That doesn't really help because we have to go through stages first and then write the word. What do I mean analytical? So we have to analyze, okay, I need the initial form of this letter. Fine, I'm gonna write it. Okay, I will also need the middle form of this. Okay, let me write it. I will also need the final form. So I can check my list. Guys, create a list of your alphabet, okay? And write beginning, middle, final. I hope you've been doing that with me, okay? So you create your own list that stays with you until you become very confident with writing and reading, okay? So we will need the initial form of the Daal, the middle form of the Waw, and the final form of the Daal. Always be analytical, okay? So I'm just gonna draw them. So this is how I write the initial form, which means the beginning, the first letter of the Daal. So okay, perfect. I'm gonna write it. That's it. I wrote it. So I'm then gonna write the plus. Then I'm gonna literally write the letter in the middle. How it is. I can check my list. Oh, okay. We said the last time that it needs a tail. So we will draw the tail and draw the Waw. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna draw a plus. And then I will need the final form of the Daal. Okay, that's it. Great, I've done it. Now, okay, this is step 1. But step 2 is very, very, very essential. Otherwise, you will write things so wrong. The next question you should ask yourself, either the first question or the second question, it doesn't matter, but as long as you ask it to yourself, that's what matters. You will then ask, do I have any star letters? It's very important because star letters, what do? We said they erase the tail of the next letter. Okay, actually, I do have a star letter here. That's the Daal. Okay, great. Which means this tail should disappear, right? Because this erases the tail of the next letter. Okay, great. Let's erase the tail of the next letter. Now, do I have any other star letters? Yes, I do. This is also a star letter. What does it do? It erases the tail of the next letter. Great. Okay, let's erase the tail of the next letter. Now, everything is in front of me. There is no reason why I should make a mistake because I already have the 3 letters that I need in their correct shape, the beginning, the middle, and the final in front of me. In this case, they happen to be star letters that are placed together, so they're not going to join. So literally, I'm just going to remove my pluses and that's it. I wrote the word. It's dood. Of course, I don't need that much space in between, so let's rewrite it. I'm going to write D, U, D. Daal, Waw, Daal. Dood. Worms. Okay? This is our first word for today. If you have any questions, guys, later on, you can please drop me a message or write a comment under. All right? Yeah. Let me delete this one, erase this one, and let's try another word. I'm gonna try this time the word dib. Daal, D, plus B, B. Daal and B. D, B, dib. We pronounce it dib, and dib means bear. Dib, bear. Now, how are we going to write it? Let's analyze together. Okay, we have 2 letters, which means I will need the beginning form or the initial form of this letter, Daal, and this is at the end of the word, so I will need the end form of the letter B, right? Okay, great. So now I'm gonna write the beginning form and the end form. This is how the beginning form looks of the Daal, the initial form, plus this is the final form of the B, which comes at the end of the word. Great, I wrote them. This is my first analysis stage. Second analysis, I ask the question, do I have any star letters? Yes, I do. So the Daal is a star letter, so I'm going to put a star here just to remember it. And what does the star letter do? It erases the tail of the next letter. Okay, great. I'm going to erase the tail of my next letter. That's it. I'm done. Now I have both letters the way they should be in front of me. Okay, I can even remove the plus because they happen to be two letters and the first one is a star letter. That's it. I wrote the word. So now I'm going to write them closer to each other because that much space is pointless. So that's dib. Dib means bear. Let's write it one more time. Dib. You see, sometimes I'm writing it without the curl. Sometimes I am writing it with the curl. It's okay. It's the same. Dib. Dib. Okay. Let me check if anyone has a question. Okay, no one has a question. Yeah, let's continue. The next word is going to be بدي. بدي. It started to rain. I hope it's not going to get very noisy with the roof on top of me. Okay, بدي. بدي means I want. بدي. Okay, so we will need the letter B or ba plus dal plus the letter ye or ya. In Lebanese, I can pronounce it B, dal, ye. In standard Arabic, they pronounce it ba, dal, ya. Now, let's analyze. I will need the beginning form, the initial form. I will need the form in the middle. I will need the form in the end. Okay, if you check your list, you will realize that this is the beginning form of the ba. Okay, we write it. Plus, if you also check your form, you will notice that this is the middle form of the dal. Okay, great, I wrote it. Plus, if you check your form also, you will notice that this is the final form of the ya, with the tail. Okay, perfect. Actually, let me rewrite this one more time. It's a ya with a tail. Perfect. Now, the second question, we want to analyze if we have any star letters. Great. Okay, is the ba a star letter? No, it's not. So it will join to the letter after. Is the dal a star letter? Yes, it is. So it will not join to the letter after. What does that mean? It means it will erase the tail of the letter after. Okay? So now that we have all of them in front of us, that's it. They are ready to be joined. You're literally seeing them visually in front of you. So we will join these two, but we will not join these two. So let's join these two first. We will start ba, dal. You see, I didn't remove my hand. And then I put my punctuation. And then I write the ye on its own because it's not going to join to the dal because the dal is a star letter. Okay? So that's how you write بدي, which means I want. Let's write it a couple of times here. بدي. Okay? Again. Ba, dal, and ye. بدي. One more time. Ba, dal, and ye. بدي. Okay? Yalla, I'm gonna do one more word with you. And then in my description box, I can put you some letters together to join just for you guys to do some more homework. Okay? Yalla, let's erase this and let's do one last word. I'm gonna do the word danab. You see, I pronounced it d because it's Lebanese Arabic. D. Sorry, danab, not danab. Danab. Let me rewrite it. D-A-N-A-B. Danab. But in standard Arabic, it's written with a dhanab, dhanab, which is a tail. But in Lebanese, we pronounce it danab. So I can write the dhal, or I can even write it as a dal. Okay, I hope you can hear me with the rain. So let's write firstly the letter dhal, with a dot. The. Plus, we will need the noon, and we will need the b. You see? Dhanab, dhanab. But in Lebanese, you can pronounce this dhal as a d instead of a this, that, those. So you can say danab. You can even write it with or without the dot. You have the option. I'm going to leave the dot for now, so we practice the letter dhal for today. So let's start with the first step in our analysis. What is the beginning form of this? What is the middle form of this? What is the final form of this? The beginning form of this is exactly the same. It doesn't change. If you check your list, guys, you have to create your list. Otherwise, it will be very confusing for you to remember. Always, every time we do one letter, add it to your list with all its shapes, alone, beginning, middle, final, so that you can refer to it. So this is the form when it's at the beginning of the word. Plus, this is the noon when it's in the middle of the word. With a tail, it has a tail. And finally, this is, oops, sorry, I wrote the final form of the noon, my bad. So this is the noon when it's in the middle of the word, okay? Plus, because it looks like the initial form of the noon, but with a tail. And this is the ba at the end of the word, okay? So this is the dhal at the beginning of the word. This is the noon in the middle of the word. This is the ba at the end of the word. That's how they should look. Now the dhal is a star letter or not? It is a star letter. What does it do? It does not join to the letter after, plus it erases the tail of the letter after. Let's see. We erased the tail. Now, I'm going to ask myself the next question. Is the noon a star letter? No, it's not. Okay, great. It means it will join to the letter after. So now we have everything in front of us. Again, there's no reason why we should be confused. Everything is in front of us. And even we can leave the star here as a reminder not to join it to the letter after. So yalla, we're going to join them now. We have them all in front of us. We start with the dhal. We will not join it to the noon because it's a star letter. And now we will draw the noon. We will join it to the ba. And then we will put our punctuation. Dhanab in standard Arabic or danab in Lebanese Arabic. Let's write it like twice more. The word danab, which means tail. Yalla. Practice with me. Dhanab. Dhanab or danab. I can write it without a dot. Let's write it once without a dot. Danab. I'm going to write it a little bit big for you guys to see. Da, na, b. Danab or dhanab. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. But more than that, I really hope that you actually sat down and wrote them with me, okay? Because next time I'm gonna do 2 more letters and they will accumulate, okay? So unless you sit down and try them on your own, you won't be able to follow up with me or you won't be able to do the next lessons. That's it for today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. Bye now!